welcome to another episode of Xaedblade Plays, and we are doing another Better Than Wolves tutorial. So make sure you hit that sub button so you keep up to date with what I'm doing, and you'll know exactly when these things come out. So this was a lot harder than it looked, and I remember doing this a while ago, and it took me ages to figure out the wiring on this. But this is the last step when it comes to our Soul Urn bottling. Now this, I found out that, oh shoot, my sign. No, my sign. Anyway, so this is what we have right here. Here's our system. We have our Soul Urn, and we have two water sources. This one here is for... Okay guys, sorry about that. I am back. So what you do... Oh, that's not what I meant. What we do here is we chuck in our urns. They'll float down. They'll get stuck into the system right here. Boop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take 8 ground netherrack, and we're going to chuck it in there. And what that does is it'll pop off the, what do you want to call it, the Soul Urn. Once 8 of these flow over top, it'll pop open the Soul Urn. Did I not click it that time? This is really getting frustrating. Okay, there we go. You see it fall off? And then another one gets placed. And that's what we're building today. This is the bottler. So this is the Soul Urn bottler. As soon as you bottle these things up, you can collect them down here. Now, you don't have to have it as far as I do. I just do this for practice and for testing. But essentially, all it is a block dispenser with one of these, not buddy blocks, but detector blocks, just seeing if something's there. If something is there, then it's going to send a redstone signal. As soon as it stops, it'll stop sending the redstone signal, and then this one will pop out another one, and then you can keep filling them up. Now, the better version of this is actually having the redstone, the dispenser on this side, and then the detector on that side, and then you can actually have the bottles flow over top of this and get added into here, and yeah. Oh, but ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, so the reason why I have the water flowing this way is because the output, once you do make Soul Urns, is hellfire dust, and that's very helpful stuff. Anyway, so this is how it looks. This is what we're doing here, and we're going to build it over there in 3, 2, 1, boom. Right, let's get started. So we're going to start with another 5 by 6 block area. Now you notice all of these seem to be around 5 by 6. That's about as small as I seem to be able to make them. But it should be okay. We should be good to go. So here we go. We're going to place our block dispenser there, pop a hole out here, and then we're going to place our detector there. Is this enough space? Yes, it is. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the line from here to there, and right here we're going to have a redstone signal, followed by another line here, and here, and there. And then we're going to take a redstone thingamabob. Oh, sorry, wrong spot. We're going to take a redstone repeater, place it there. And what that's going to do is going to allow us to send 2 signals. That's the important thing. Oh, wait, hold on. We need a redstone signal here with 2 ticks. Now, what this will do is we'll just take a couple of blocks. What we'll do is we're going to take a couple of these Soul Urns that have just spawned in, and we're going to grab one of these guys, and we're going to place it right here. Now, notice it turns on, that turns off. As soon as all of the required ground netherrack passes over top, it breaks, and it pops another one out. Now, this needs to be a 3 tick. If you just make it a 2 tick, it won't happen fast enough. See? It needs to be delayed up to 3 ticks in order to make sure that this passes through just right. And this does have to be a redstone repeater, because without it, it'll flow back through here and it messes things up because you start creating a clock. So now if I place this here, it'll see it, break it, pops another one out. That's how it's done. So this is working just fine. I don't know why I made this so big. I think it's for the extra bit right here. That's what it's for. Anyway, so I know I said a 5 by 6, but it looks like a 5 by 5 right now. Anyway, this is the basic components. Right here will fill up and export out as soon as I plop down one of these bad boys. So if this is all you're going to do, that's great. That's wonderful. You can also just plop one of those right there, and here's your basic run-of-the-mill system. Very simple, easy to use. You just make sure that your netherrack gets passed over top of this. Let me put the soul sand there. And just going to grab some nether. Right, so you just need to make sure that you have soul sand in there, and then you can just chuck through 8 over here at a time. You know, just something simple like this. And yeah, I know that's a bit of a spoiler. Be careful, guys, okay? It needs to be powered. I knew it. I know it needs to be powered. If you watched my series, you know that I constantly forget to power the dumb thing. But if you don't, you set one of these ghasts free alive in your world. So well, we'll keep this one here. We'll call him Buddy. Who knows? Oh, maybe we can name him, can't we? Because we're like in cheaty cheat mode. So let's name him real quick. He'll be our little friend in our world. Name tag. Ah, oh, no fun. No name tags. Oh well. He'll eventually fly off into nowhere. Or despawn. Who knows? Anyway, back to what we're doing. So this right here is just a very basic setup. Obviously, like you saw, you need to power the thing. If you don't power it, it will break. Okay? It will bust open, and then you'll have one of those guys, that's not what I did, flying around your world, which you do not want. Trust me, they are scary as all get out, and they'll blow everything up around you. Okay? Not fun. Not fun at all. Right, so we're going to just, I'm just going to build some power, and I'll be ready. Okay, so we have power now. That was just a quick little power source like that. Now, obviously, if you want to have power here, it's best to put this, to make another one right here, coming over to power this to make it automatic. But if you're just building a basic run-of-the-mill one where you don't need power here because, you know, you plan on coming by and collecting it once it gets full, you don't plan on having a lot, there you go. But if you're planning on doing what I'm doing and making a completely automated system so that I've got ground netherrack coming straight through, I've got bottles coming straight through, and the only thing restraining me is going to be clay. I'll have to figure out a way as well in my single-player world to make sure I check for that, because that could be a bit of a pain. Anyway, so this is not what we're going to be doing. Oh yeah, that's right. Broke it in half. This is not what we're going to be doing, all right? We're going to be making this into that system over there so it can be fully automated. Right, so this first thing we have to do to make this thing automated, it's working as it is, just a proof of concept. Oops. Did it again. There we go. Another one placed. Perfect. Works. Right. Now, to make this thing automated, we need to add ourselves another hopper here. And this one is going to be feeding into this. Right. There's a couple ways you could do this. You need water flowing through. You just have to be careful because you don't want this stuff getting in here. And because this is a powder, there's no real way to bypass it. Oh, he's flying away. He's flying away. Bye. See you later. Anyway, so there's no real way to stop it from going into here. So you want to make sure that this end is where the bottles are coming from. And you just got to try to make sure that the ground netherrack is falling directly onto here. Otherwise, you'll get ground netherrack or hellfire dust in your other system. It is annoying, I understand this, but there's nothing really we can do about it at this stage. So, yeah, nothing we could do. They're too close to each other. We don't have hoppers like in regular Minecraft where you can stick them to the side and fill them from the side. That would be a cool concept, but no, we don't have that. So we have just these ones that go straight top to straight bottom. So anyway, besides that, let's get back here. All right, to make this thing automated, we got our soul hopper, and we also now have this, but we have to power it. To do that, we're going to just break this, add ourselves another one, and you can do this, by the way, guys, anywhere else in your builds. If you have two side-by-side things, I've done this so many times that I pretty much have this memorized now. Boom. Okay, and we'll just place this there, and there, and then there, and then we got it. Oops, not that. Oh, this isn't placed properly. Ah. There we go. That's how you do it. You can also do it around this way. I'm obviously doing height, but I could also do the same thing by having it powered this direction, right? Just coming along this way. But I'm not doing that. So I'm doing it this way. Right. So we have that, and now both of them are going to allow for both the ground netherrack to turn into hellfire dust and soul urns without exploding. And we've also now enabled us to be able to chuck these in there. Oh, I did it again. Oh, that's so annoying. There we go. And it's all the way in there. And she's ready to go. We will have to put a reset button for the occasional time it needs to reset. And the best place to do that is right here. Because as long as there's nothing here, let me just empty this out real quick. If I break that and it's gone, nothing happens, right? But let's say I fill it back up or the system turns back on again. Boom. I probably will be able to tie something into one of these signals, probably this signal here, to shoot, or actually probably this signal here, to shoot back up to the top to say, stop grinding netherrack, or at least stop giving us ground netherrack, because obviously to some point we don't want to just keep creating hellfire dust. We want the ground netherrack to be producing soul urns. That's the point. Right. So we've got it this far. Now how do we get these things out of here? Well, it's your choice, really. I tend to like the things drop, and then I'll bring this over here through water, like so. So I think what I'm thinking about right now, especially in my single player world, is bringing this over through water. So water will come down here. It'll bring the soul urns down this way, and then I'll just drop netherrack into here. The netherrack will turn to hellfire dust, fall down into here, and go down one level like this. There we go. It'll fall down here, be added to whatever is there, and then all this will just fall straight down. So I'll put a sign here to ensure that this stuff doesn't go any further than that. So the water will flow down to here. It'll stop because of the sign, and then all of those will just drop. Now, I'll probably have some kind of collection and sorting area, because there's going to be a lot of other things falling down here too, probably. Now that I think about it. In the main area, anyway. In my main base. So I'll look out for that. I'll probably have some things in here. But let's get this thing working. So we're going to take some water. We're going to take our block, and we're going to just build this up slightly and have it tilt off just ever so slightly to ensure we have flowing water. There it goes. Oh, shoot. No, that's fine. That works. Great. I will put this the way so nothing else falls. So you'll have your hopper exporting it here, because you obviously will have ground netherrack coming from somewhere else, and you'll have a powered hopper just throwing it down. Or you could have a system of droppers. Sorry, we don't call them droppers in this version of Minecraft. We call them dispensers to dispense the ground netherrack. It's just a hard one to do. Obviously, if you have enough of everything flowing through, it shouldn't be a problem, because everything will just keep filling itself back up again. However, if you turn the system off and you just dump all of your netherrack, ground netherrack down here, it's gonna cause some problems. So yeah, we gotta keep that in check. So I'll figure out a system for that. Maybe that'll be the next episode, where we figure out a system for automatically shutting this thing off and on to ensure we don't lose anything, making it a lossless system as much as possible. Was this too? Make it look nice. There we go. Now it looks nice. Although I don't know. Oh, okay. There. Anyway, I'm just making things look semi-nice. There we go. So we can check, I guess. I don't know. I'm just messing around. So there we have it. It's all working. Now let's just chuck some in here just to see how well it works. I'll set up a quick dispenser to dispense them in there every so often. And hopefully it should do what we're expecting it to do. So I'll be right back as soon as I set up that dispenser and the array to keep it powered and shooting stuff in there. And we will see this thing in full action. Be right back. Right, got it set up now so it's full of ground netherrack. And we set up a nice long timer here, and all we got to do is just, well, set it up. Right, so let's watch this thing in action. Let's just take a look here. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Right, so we can see the whole process here. It's going to put through 8. And as soon as it's done putting through 8, it should pop off. Boom. Next one on. Working like a beast. Now, this might be the system you want to set up. Something similar to this. Obviously, it might be best to take this thing here and move it up 1. Like this. Just so that it works proper. Oh, not that way. That would be horrible. Like this. So you can set this up. Obviously, this is expensive because that's 4, 8, 16, and another 8. This is like 24 gold nuggets or more. It's a lot of gold nuggets for doing this. You could do this much better with a separate timer, with a single timer going around. But I'm doing it just like... Actually, you know what? I'm going to amend this to make it cheaper. Hold on. Okay, I did this just for you guys. I did it. Whoa, I did it just for you. I've made it fully automatic, and the issue that I said you could possibly have is going to be resolved on top of that. So not only am I giving you an automatic system, I'm also giving you a foolproof automatic system, so that even if you do have a shut-off button like I am going to have, it'll still work. So all I got to do is just turn this thing on like this. And it's just going to fill this guy up. And I could put a whole bunch more in here. This could be where it's grinding. Boom, boom, boom. Obviously, I should put out a signal if it gets full. But anyway, so that'll fill up quite a bit. Should be really good. Now, let's see. So we have that all set. I also have this all set up and ready to go. And this will be popping out a whole bunch, just like this. One at a time, automatically filled. And as soon as we get to the right amount, this puppy should pop off. Ah, okay, it's a little too fast. Alright, just want to make sure it's the right length here, so I'm giving you guys the right information. Need to give this system enough time to put another one down so you don't waste anything, because wasting them could also do some other bad things. Yes! Okay, it works! It works! It works, guys! Alright, what you do is you have a single torch on here, you have it go by 2. Now, the other system I showed you with all of those repeaters costs 4 gold for each repeater. This puppy right here only costs 4 gold, so it's doing the same thing, and you've already got power here. We just extended power up to this. That is a little bit expensive. I mean, we added another 3, 6, 9 gold. So 1 ingot to make this, but it's fully automated. Which means as soon as this thing is is chocker full, let's say we're all out of these guys right here, it'll work just fine. Boom. And this will just keep trekking away, guys. Keep trekking away. Awesome. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you smash that like button if you did and you want to see more. I'm planning on taking this. I've already basically showed you the next step I was going to do. But there's still a few other things that I need to do to ensure this works. But we have all 3 things. We have the last bit here. Excuse me. We have, that's that bit. We have the kiln over here, the automatic kiln, which seems to have malfunctioned at some point. And then we have the automatic, what is this over here? This is the automatic soul unfired pottery clay maker. I don't know. It's hard to know what you call this thing because it's an automatic clay maker of things that are clay. So we go from this stage, which is probably the smallest and most compact, to this big beast, which is quite complex, all the way over to this guy, which is a little bit more complex now that I've added this system to it. But in its little infancy, it's quite easy to do. So we did all of that, which means we can put all of this together in a huge super build, which I'm doing on my Let's Play. And if you want to see more, go click that little icon that's going to zoom by, because it'll link you to my channel, where I'm putting this thing together in action in my base. So stay tuned for that. The other thing is the item collection, which I'm not really concerned about right now. But as you can see, it's catching the Soul Urns. It's catching all the Hellfire Dust. We power this, and then we sort it. End of story. And then we basically come down here, and we get all of our wonderful Soul Urns for creating all sorts of cool stuff. Like what? Like block dispensers. And like doing special things with villages, if you know what I mean. Don't want to spoiler it too much, but it's a wonderful thing. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.